Can't tell you. This number 2, kind of weird. The number of boys to girls in the third block American history class is 5 to 4. If there are 15 boys in a class, how many girls are in the class? All right, guys, this is real life. This is when you can actually use proportions in real life, okay? I have to put a little bit of information. Well, hold on. Boys to girls. Boys to girls. That's going to be kind of our guide. And I'm just putting that in the order that it was given to me in the problem. Boys to girls, okay? Write this down because I'm not doing this for my health. It says the ratio, the number of boys to girls in the class is 5 to 4. Okay, this is my guide. This is my actual working proportion. If there are 15 boys, where am I going to put 15? Why? Because that's where boys, that's where it is in the guide, okay? Now, how many girls are in class? Well, you can put G, you can put X, put Y, I don't care what you put. But, can you solve that proportion? Heck yes, 5G is equal to 60. Divide both sides by 5, what do you get? What's 12? There are 12 girls in that class. Do you agree? Yeah? Yes, it is. Right. Exactly. Do you know why you do that? It will. You'll be able to check your answer, but you're also going to be able to. It just left me. Dang it. Wait a minute. Yes. Check. Yes. To verify that your answer is correct. Oh, equivalent fractions, folks. Sorry. This is my dollar bill problem and my 4 quarters problem. The values are the same. They just look different, right? And you could have gone 5 times 3 is 15. 4 times 3 is what? 12. Did you have to do all that proportion stuff? No. But, in case you have to, that's the way you would do it. Very good. Thank you for bringing that up. Wow. Let's do this next one. You do this one. Number of boys to girls in first lunch is 4 to 3. If there are a total of 420 kids on first lunch, oh my Lord, how many boys? That's a lot. Let's think about it. Guide. Cody, you said boys to girls. Absolutely. Okay. 4 to 3. What? 4 of 3. 420 kids on first lunch. How many are boys? Oh, this is strange, isn't it? Oh, that's total. Oh, okay. Let's think about that. How many are boys? What are we trying to find? Boys. All right, I'm just going to list it as B for boys. Let's just say, if I had a total of 20 students, and 8 of them were boys, then how many would have to be girls? How'd you get that? By subtracting what? 8 from 20. Okay, if I had 100 students, and I told you that 25 of them were boys, how many would be girls? How did you get that? You're finding the difference. You're finding the difference of the total. What's our total? And we're going to subtract what?
3.
The B. Aren't we going to figure out, if we know there are 420 total, take away the number of boys, won't that give us the amount of girls? Okay? We are. If boys are B, won't we solve for B? Okay, think about it. Look at what I did. My total is 420, and I want to take away what I know. Well, I know that boys is what I'm trying to find, so that is my unknown variable B. If I have 420 total, I want to take away that B, which would give me, I can't combine them, so it'll give me 420 minus B. This is a messed up problem. This is like on steroids. This is proportions on steroids, y'all. Here we go. Cross multiply this. 4 times that quantity is equal to 3 times B. Oh, hold on. You're getting ready to distribute, right, Kevin? 4 times 420 is 1680 minus who? 4B. You with me? Now what? I got to solve for B. Add the 4B to both sides. 1680 is equal to 7B. What now? Divide both sides by 7. Ooh, now, does that seem reasonable? 240. All right, go back and read it again. 240 what? Boys. There are 240 boys in that lunch. Now, what would be an extension of this problem? Find the number of girls. How would you find the number of girls? 420 minus 240, which would be 180? Okay. Right? Now, think on that. Think what we did. What happened? 420 I distributed. The hardest part was probably setting it up, don't you think? This problem, the equation looked complicated, but it wasn't. Just distributive property. Now, what problems might we face in this particular problem? Careless mistakes. What could happen here? You could distribute to the first one and then what? Not to distribute to the B. And is that a common mistake? You better believe it. Then it'll be all wrong, won't it? And make a mistake like that, right? You need to know this. You need to be able to do this on your own. Solve the proportion. Folks, let's go through this very quickly, okay? Here we go. Cross multiplying. Good. Okay, good. 3a times 2a is 6a squared. You guys cool with that? 8 times 3 is 24. Why? Don't I want to get the variable by itself? And how do I do that? Divide. Hold that thought, Justin. That gives me a squared is equal to 4, and then I want to what? Why? Because how do you undo a perfect square? You take the square root, and what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. Folks, you get a is equal to, now this is where you got to be careful. There are 2 answers. Plus minus 2. Now let's think about why. It can be positive or negative 2. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Okay, think about it. If I were to throw positive 2 in here, into A, 2 times 2 is positive 4, right? What if I throw negative 2 in there? Negative 2 times negative 2 is, it's still positive 4. Don't forget. Dennis, you go, okay? Don't forget when we, when we take the square root of a number, it gives us a plus minus answer. Okay? Gives us a plus minus answer. And the twist is when it's a word problem. Okay? I would write this down. I would hate to take up your notes. That would be, golly. It gives you a plus minus answer. Okay? Yeah, you can go. The only time you're not going to take both of those answers is when it happens to be a word problem. For example, if it said, how many dogs? You know, and you're solving for A, and A represents number of dogs. Can you have -2 dogs? No, you cannot. So then we would only be able to accept the positive answer. Does that make sense? You got to be really careful and think about what it's asking. Questions on this. You're being exposed to some heavy-duty problems like this one. What now? Let's see. More binomials. Oh, let's check this one out here. Good luck. Run fast. Run like you're being chased by a big dog. Here we go. Or the police. Here we go. Not that I know that. Cross multiply. I don't. Cross multiply. 50 times 2. I'm going to write this out. And then 2t plus 4 times 2, please. That's right. That right there. This should be taking you back to Algebra 1 in a big way. 6th grade? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you definitely learned how to do the proportions in the 6th grade. What am I going to do there on that right side? Ah, that a girl. That a girl, Lauren. Exactly. You're going to foil this sucker out. Here we go. In a minute. I'm going to foil it out in a minute. 50 times 2 is 100. Y'all, now look. While you don't have to look up here, but answer my question and write this down. 2t times 2t is 4t who? Squared. 2t times 4 is 8t. No. 4 times 2t is? Attaboy. 4 times 4 is? There we go. Now what? Oh, Lord, look at all them numbers. Michael, look at all those numbers. What do I do? Simplify. I've got like terms, don't I? 8t and 8t is? 16t. Oh, Lord, I'm still not done. What now? Because I've got a quadratic. I'm going to subtract 2. No. Remember, when I have a quadratic, I got to set it equal to 0. You need to put yourself a note here. When you have a quadratic equation, set the equation equal to 0, and then factor to solve. Folks, let me tell you something, just FYI while you're writing that down. If you're ever absent, and I record these lessons every day, guys, we don't have any time to play with. I don't have time to stop and let's review for 2 days to get you caught up. Especially in the springtime when you've got spring athletes and y'all get to leave in class at 2 o'clock, 2:15, 2:30, like 4 days a week. It's your responsibility to watch these videos. That's why I record them and that's why I post them, okay? So I expect if you're absent for whatever reason, if you leave early, whatever, you got to watch these videos to get caught up. Or you're going to be sitting in tutoring every Tuesday afternoon from now until the SOL. Just throwing it out there, okay? Now, I got to set that equation equal to 0. The easiest thing to do is to take 100 and subtract it from both sides. And notice that I'm putting it underneath the 16 because they are like terms. That's going to give me 0 equals 4t squared plus 16t minus 84. Now, that looks weird because my 0's over there on the left by itself, right? Don't worry about it. I can switch it up, okay? If you wanted to, but it's not necessary, okay? The only thing I want to avoid is I don't want to have to move that 4t squared. Because if I move it to the left, then it's a negative leading coefficient. Bad. I don't want leading negative coefficients. I don't ever want that, okay? Now, what am I going to do with that? What do we do on the other? We got to factor it. Folks, what's the first thing you factor out always? We've already talked about it today. GCF. 4 goes into 4. 4 goes into 16. Does 4 divide into 84? Yes. So we're going to factor out the GCF. This is not an easy problem, but you have to know how to do this. 4 times t squared plus 4t minus 21. You guys cool with that? All I did was factored out the GCF. Minus 21? Yeah. Uh-huh. I'm just taking out a 4 as the greatest common factor. And now, can I unfoil t squared plus 4t minus 21? Yeah, okay. Here we go. I know it's going to be t and t, because t times t is t squared. Now, check this out and watch. I need 2 factors of 21 that when you subtract, give you 4. Let me say that again. Don't say anything. Watch. I need 2 factors of 21 that when I subtract, they give me 4. 7 and 3. Because 1 times 21, 3 times 7, that's the only 2 pairs of factors for 21. Okay, now, why does it have to be positive 7, negative 3, Daniel? Because positive 7 minus 3 is positive 4. Okay, that's exactly right. Now, do I have this thing factored? Yes. Yeah, it's factored. But now what do I have to do with each factor? Set it equal to 0 and solve. Now, you set each factor equal to 0. So I've got 4 equal to 0. 4 is a factor. Set it equal to 0. Take t plus 7. Set it equal to 0. And then don't forget about t minus 3 and set it equal to 0. Now, y'all, does 4 equal 0? No. That is not a true statement. Can that be solved? No, you done with that. It cannot help me. Mark it out. You have to do what you're supposed to do, but that's a false statement. So we're done. Then solve. I got negative 7 for one of the solutions. What's the other one? Positive 3. So my solutions are, and I'm trying to go back. Yep, I can have 2 solutions in those fancy brackets. Oh. La la la. How many of you got negative 7 and positive 3? Now, am I always going to be here taking you through this step by step? No. You got to use your notes, folks, and figure this out on your own, okay? You can totally do this. It's just Algebra 1. Questions on that? Moving on. What do you think about this one? Here we go. Let's pick it up. Same thing. U plus 3 times U minus 3. 8 times 5 is? 40. Right? All right, what do we have to do on that left side? Foil it out. There we go. Here we go. U times U is what? U squared. U times negative 3 is what? Negative 3U. positive 3 times u is plus 3u. And 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. What now? What's going to happen? What? Wait, before that. One's in the middle. What's going to happen to the ones in the middle? Why? Because they cancel each other out. Negative 3 plus 3 is 0. Now what?
See, what I did, I did it easier. I just did 3 times u and positive 3 times negative 3.
But you always going to be able to do that? What's the reason you can do that in this particular problem? That's the only time this will work, when you take that shortcut, okay? I don't want you to, what if I would have had u plus 3, and you'd have done the same thing? It'd have been wrong, okay? You just got to be aware, and that's fine. If you see it, do that. But remember, the less work you show, I can't give you partial credit, okay? And I don't want you to get something wrong because you make a careless mistake. Easiest way to solve this problem, I could factor it, but add 9. Why, Kevin? Yeah, take the square root of both sides. What we do to one side, you have to do the other. And be real careful. There you go, Kevin. Plus or minus 7. And this is not a word problem, so can I accept both solutions? Yes. Right, Chase? Look at it. I could. Watch this. Subtract 40, right? Okay, did you get u squared minus 49 equals 0? Did you recognize that u squared minus 49 is the difference of squares? That's a u. And when you factor that, Joseph, it gives you u minus 7 and u plus 7. And when I set each of those equal to 0, what do I get? Always more than one way to what? It's always, look, 7, negative 7. 7, negative 7. Okay? A different way to solve, still get the same answer. Okay? Always go with the easiest way. And if you wouldn't have seen it, obviously you saw it this way. Would you have known to factor it like that? Okay, good. That's excellent. Questions at all? Here's another one. Oh, what is this? Properties of proportions. Beautiful stuff. Absolutely gorgeous. Check this out. 18C equals 24D. Now, it says, find the ratio of D to C. I want D to C. This means, right here, D over C. That's what I want. Okay? Now, how can I get C under the D mathematically? Pardon me? I want to divide it, don't I? Why do I want to divide it versus subtract it? Because what mathematical operation is connecting the 18 and the C? Multiplication. How do you undo multiplication? You divide. Watch. You'll see what's going to happen. What you do to one side, got to do the other. All right, my C's cancel. Folks, this is when you really know who knows your algebra. That's going to give me 18 is equal to 24D over C. You guys agree? Okay. Now, how am I going to get rid of that 24? Because I got to get D over C by itself. I'm going to divide it. I'm going to divide it. All right, now look. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. My 24s cancel out now, and that leaves me with D over C is equal to 18 over 24. What's wrong with that? 8. It's not in simplest form. Zoe, how do I put it in simplest form? 6 goes into both of those how many times? Which is going to give me 3 over 4. So D over C is equal to 3 over 4. Do you guys see what I'm doing here? I guarantee you will see that again. That's on the, it is confusing, but you know what? If you truly understand algebra, then you will understand how to move these things around mathematically, and you're still going to get the right answer. Okay? It is weird. I agree. Who cares? More importantly, who cares? The state of Virginia does. So we have to. Sorry. Shoot a dang monkey in the foot, not his tail. Okay, here we go. That would hurt. Hurt either way. Why not? Do it, Lauren. No. No. You do this one. It's based on the same thing you just got finished. And I want to get T over S. That's what I want. What do I do first? Kale, what do I do? Divide by S, okay? And I get 16 is equal to 20 T over S. How many of you got that step right? Alexis, you made eye contact. What's next? Never make eye contact with the teacher. She'll call on you. Don't look away. Creepy eyes. Zoe, you're next. You turn completely around to avoid me. Go, Alexis. Divide by 20. All right, so it's going to give me T over S is equal to 16 over 20. Ooh. Why did I ooh? It's not simplified. What does that simplify to? 4/5. How many of you got 4/5? Hands up. High five, y'all. Good job. Did y'all hear that? Anytime you hear that, you know it is on. Guys, you got to be able to do those problems. Have to. What about this? Marta. Marta. Making a scale drawing of her bedroom. Her rectangular room. Oh, Lord. Draw it. 12.5 feet wide. 12.5 feet wide. And oh, that's so wrong. I know my picture doesn't match. I don't care. The reason I don't care because as long as I have width and length labeled on my picture, that's why I don't care. Okay? Now it says on the scale drawing. What's a scale drawing? What's a scale drawing? The plans, right? If I were to build this house, blueprints, that's good. My blueprints are going to be smaller because it's something you got to carry around in your pocket or around in your truck. Can't carry a truck in your house. House in your truck. Okay. Maybe you can. All right. Truck in your house, house in your truck. Unless you're a hobo. Or you live in a camper shell on the back of your truck. Then it could be multi-purpose. Shut up and let's do this problem. All right, here we go. What's the length? It says on the scale drawing, the width of her room is 5 inches. What's the length? We know it's going to be in inches. Yes, we do. Yes, we sure do. How are we going to set this up? Look at this. Come on now. How are we going to set this up? Chase, you do this for a living. No, no, no. Yeah, you do this problem. I ain't letting you off the hook. Go. Yes, liar. Do it again. I'm going to yell louder. Liar! Do it again, Chase. I'm going to open the door and I'm going to holler your name. Liar! Why are you laughing? I'm totally not scared. I just don't want to scare him. How am I going to set this up? Chase. Yes, you do. Go. Shh. Yes, you do. Go. Nope. Do the darn problem, because you're going to have a buttload of homework if you don't hurry up. What is it? Come on, help him out. Amber, tag team. Amber. Oh, as the guide. Chase. She gave you the guide. Go. Oh, yes. Shh. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Shut your faces. There we go. Hey, is it okay that I put 12.5? Okay, over 15. Equals what, Chase? Five over L. Right on? Attaboy. Chase is not a liar. He's not. Only sometimes. Certain things. Here we go. What now? Just multiply. Right? 12.5 L. 5 times 15, 75? Yeah. And then divide both sides by 12.5. Right on? What is 6? 6 what's? Ah, why is this in inches? Because it's the scale model. That means that the length of this room on our picture, on our blueprint that we're carrying in our house or our truck or our back pocket or wherever, we couldn't decide unless we're a hobo, is 6 inches, correct? On our scale drawing, facile or difficile? I see. Kodalala. I see. Muy fácil. Difícil. Yeah. Hey, do this problem. Do this problem. Go ahead. I don't know. Solve it. As long as you don't cheat to get the answer. You know that. No, because we all see things differently, and that's fine. Some of you will be able to look at this, totally go common sense on this and go, how are you setting this up in a proportion? And you won't have to. Good for you. I don't see things that way because I'm pretty literal, okay? But check this out. Excuse me, because I don't want to teach you the back of your head. What's my guide? Just set up the guide, Miss Perry. 3.5, I'm going to do something with that in a minute. Look what it says. 2 cities are 3.5 inches apart on a map with this scale. Ding, 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 ding. There's our guide. Also, grasshopper. There we go. Here we go. There's our guide. 1 inch is 50 miles. Now, let's set up this thing. I got 1 inch over 50 miles. Now, I don't need to put that in there because I've already got it. But, now where am I going to put 3.5? Why? Because it's in inches, and then I'm going to find my miles, won't I? Now, can you do this problem? Yes, you absolutely. It is common sense, and that's what Justin was asking me, because he did it like 3 hours ago, okay? Because he didn't approach it this way. He said, just look at it. And you're right. You can do that problem this way. I can't. I have to do it this way. I don't know why. What is 3.5 times 50? 175 miles. So this is beneficial to us. Not that we ever use paper maps anymore, because we usually are using that GPS, right? Or Google Maps or whatever, and it prints it out for us. But how many of you have ever looked at the map and measured? I can remember going down the road and going, okay, I got to go from here to here. That 4 times 75, let me think, that's 300. That's 300 miles divided by 60, about 5 hours. A little under, give or take, okay? This is real life right here, folks. Real life. You do the next one. Last one, do it. Triple dog dare you. What we got to take into account for. Okay? 2 dimensions. Here we go. So, 2 problems in 1. Okay? The guide is 1 inch equals 4 feet. Do you guys agree with that? Okay? Let's go with, we're looking at 14 feet by 10 feet. You with me? Let's decide length by width. I'm just going to do 2 problems. Here we go. 14. Let's go with length first. Nah. Where am I going to put 14? Why? Because it's feet. Oh, look. Now it's x. 4x equals 14. Divide by 4. What do you get? 3.5 what? Inches. That's the same thing we just did, isn't it? I'll do the same thing for the width. Now, can you do the width for me, please? What's our guide? 1 over 4. 1 over 4. 1 inch. 4 feet. Now, you do this one yourself. Do this one. Yeah. Well, see how we took care of our length first over here? We're going to take care of our width now. So, what am I going to do with 10? All right, look. We had to figure the length first. And that's why we did this one. We only fooled with the length part of this problem. Now we're going to change gears, and now we're going to have to figure out what the width is for this plan, for this scale drawing. Okay? So now, all you need to focus on, what's the width of the original room? 10 feet. The guide doesn't change. It's still 1 inch represents 4 feet. Okay? What am I going to do with 10 feet? Where? Why? Okay, look. 4 feet, 14. 14 feet. I want to keep all the feet on the bottom. So where am I going to put 10? On the bottom, because it's feet. What goes on top? The inches, the x, the variable. And now, can we cross multiply? Yeah. 1 times 10, of course, is 10. 4 times x is 4x. Divide by 4. 2.5. Is that it? 2.5 what? Inches. Now, what's the best way to write your answer? Go back and read the problem. It said, what would the dimensions of your 14-foot by 10-foot bedroom, what would it be in a scale drawing? 3.5 inches by 2.5 inches. There you go. Pardon me? No, I just did it in the order that it came in. It gave you 14 feet by 10 feet, so I gave my answer in 3.5 inches by 2.5 inches. Okay? Now, whoo-wee! What the world? Me too. Yeah, probably, but it would be a multiple choice, and it would probably only be given to you this way. Okay? Here we go. I don't think so. Here we go. Check this out. I want you to go to, and you're going to pick up and review what you did last week on Thursday. I want you to do 16 through, on page 458. Folks, I want you to go back and do 17 through 27 odd. I don't know what I just said. Mm-hmm. 17 through 27 odd, and then I want you to go with 2829.
Hey, it's a bumblebee in here, man.
That ain't a bumblebee, Katie.
I couldn't see it.
It's a stink bug.
Oh, it looked bigger when it was.
You were just scared. It's okay.
You want me to get it?
I got you. Sorry. Here you go. Hold up. Here we go. I want you to do 30, 34,
So 28, 29, 34.
Yeah.
Shh. Please stop talking. Thank you.
I got a question. When it says find L, it ain't got no point.
Go ahead. Go ahead right here.